We're going to be doing a 30-minute Pilates-based exercise class that is focused on individuals that have scoliosis. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be going through a series of movements that are therapeutic in nature. It is a lot of mindfulness that goes into it. We're going to be using these wedges here. So these are scolio wedges. If you don't have them, don't worry about it. You can follow along pretty easily. And we're also going to be using a small resistance ball. This is about 9 inches, 80% blown up. It provides a little bit of resistance, a little bit of support, and there's just so many exercises you can do with it. It's a really wonderful tool. If you don't have this, that's okay. You can use a small pillow that's firm to provide that extra resistance and support. And you could also use a rolled up towel as well. So I'm trying to think of anything else. If you have any knee pain at all, you can use a towel to put underneath of your knees. We're going to do a little bit of kneeling work today. And I'm trying to think, that's about it. All right, we're going to get started. So we're going to get started using your small 9-inch ball, and I want you to place it in between your inner thighs here. We're going to begin with a little bit of elongation, and you want to find a position that's comfortable for your shoulders. So you can have your arms down by your sides here. You can reach them overhead to do the elongation. My favorite position in a kneeling position is to have your hands along the side of your head. So you're kind of cupping your ear, and I want you to provide a little bit of traction upwards. And you're going to inhale just a little bit, and then exhale everything out of the lungs, growing taller, taller, taller. And then just inhale as you need to through your nose. And then as you exhale, try not to shrink into yourself. You're growing taller through the crown of the head, reaching the tailbone long, finding length through the spinal column, through the sides of the body. And then inhale as you need to. And then exhale everything out, drawing back through your center, engaging your glutes a little bit. Good, 2 more times, inhaling as you need to. And then exhale everything out, lifting up through the pelvic floor. Good, finding length through the crown of the head. And just one last time, inhaling as you need to. And then exhaling, finding length. Very nice job. Relax your arms and kind of shake it out. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing. I want your feet in a nice relaxed position. Again, you can find a comfortable position for your arms and for your shoulders. You're going to bring your hands behind your head. Press your head into your hands and lift up nice and tall through the crown of the head. Hinge at the hips. Sit your hips back towards your heels. And then exhale. Press up nice and tall. And then inhale, hinging back. And exhale, lifting up. Inhale to lower. And exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. So make sure your hands aren't pressing your head forward. You're pressing your head back into your hands to find length through the back of the neck. And lifting up. 2 more times. And lifting up. Good, and now stay in this hinge position. You're going to begin reaching your arms forward, more on a diagonal towards the mat, and sweep your arms back behind you. And then reach them out forward towards the mat again. So again, you're finding length through the crown of the head, through the back of the neck, lifting up through your center. Now, if you know your corrections here for your scoliosis. Go ahead and de-rotate where you need to. So I'm focusing on drawing my left ribs back, my right hip back. Good, now keep the arms back behind you and lift from the triceps. Little pulses. Good, engaging the triceps, engaging your center, and not allowing the ribs to push forward. Good. Don't allow the shoulders to roll forward, and then begin bending at the elbows and pressing out straight. Inhale to bend and exhale, press. Good. And lift. Extend through the fingertips. 2 more times. Last time, lifting up nice and tall. Good, just do a few circles with the arms. Very nice work. Okay, so we're going to make our way onto our hands and knees. If you have any issues with your wrists, you can drop down onto your elbows or prop up onto your fists like so. So your hands are going to go directly under your shoulders. Knees are under your hips. And I want you to just begin rocking forward over the hands, inhaling. And then exhale, press with the hands to sit the hips back without rounding the spine. So you're keeping the spine nice and long, finding length. Drawing back through the center as you shift your weight back. Good. So you're finding length through the crown of the head and shifting the weight back here without tucking the tailbone under. Good. Inhaling as you draw forward over the hands, not sinking into the lumbar spine, and pressing back. Good. Draw yourself forward so that your weight is a little bit more over your hands than over your knees. And if you know your adjustments, go ahead and draw your rib back, draw your hip back. And I want you to begin folding at the elbows, bringing your face towards the mat, and press out straight. So the elbows are tucked into your sides. You're lifting through your center. Still having a little pressure inward on that ball. Good, lifting up. Not sinking into the shoulder girdle here. Good, 2 more times here. This is very challenging work. And 1 more time. Lifting up tall. Come up onto your knees and just do a few arm circles here. Lifting through the pelvic floor, through the crown of the head. Nice work. Okay, we're going to make our way down to the mat. And you're going to bring the ball in between your ankles in this position. Okay, so I want you to find a nice tall spine here. And your arms are going to begin, actually let's have our arms slightly back behind you. And you're pressing downward into your knuckles. If this isn't comfortable for you, you can have your palms flat or tent your fingers a little bit. I like to be on my fists. And you press downward into the knuckles to find a nice long extended spine. This is helping to provide some support to your spinal column here. And now I want you to inhale. You're going to rotate the knees out to the sides slightly. And then exhale, bring them back in. Inhale as you need to. And then exhale, grow taller through the crown of the head. Finding your elongation. Pulling back through your center. Inhale to open. And then exhale everything out. Inhale to open slightly with those knees. And then exhale, draw back through the center. Lift up through the crown of the head. Good. Now I want you to maintain that same length with the spine. Reach your arms up out in front of the shoulders, and you're going to inhale. I just want you to hinge slightly back. So we're not going back into a normal C curve like you would with Pilates. We're going to just hinge back here, finding our connection, maintaining that connection. And then exhale, come upright. Inhale, lean slightly back here off the sitting bones. And exhale, come upright. Inhale, you're going to stay back here. If you know your corrections, go ahead and do them. So I'm drawing my left ribs back here, finding length, and now begin opening the knees out to the sides and then closing them in. Inhale to open, exhale to close. Good. So my shoulders are relaxed down the back. I'm breathing, I'm drawing back through my center, doing my corrections if I know them. I do know them. Good. Now I want you to hold your knees still and you're going to bring yourself upright here. And now hinge slightly back again. You're going to flip the palms so that they're facing each other and then open your arms out wide east and west. And then exhale, bring them back in. So the wider you go with the arms, the harder it is to maintain your connection with your center. So if you can only go to here, that's just fine. Good, inhale to open. And that's all the further I'm going to go today. Make sure you're not sinking in on yourself. And one more time. Good, and bring yourself upright. Very nice work. So you can open your knees out to the sides. Find a nice butterfly position, keep your back flat, and roll the ball slightly out forward. Good, just opening and releasing through those inner thighs that we just worked. Good, just breathe here. Very nice work. So we're going to make our way onto our back. If you have your wedges, go ahead and grab them. If you don't have wedges or know what I'm talking about, that's okay. So I'm going to prop myself as I need to, propping my right ribs and my left hip. Good. So the reason I'm propping those areas in the back is because they're dropped backwards. So I use the wedges to prop them forward so I'm in a neutral spine and I'm strengthening in a neutral spine. Otherwise you kind of rock and roll all over your mat and it becomes very cumbersome. So let's actually just have the ball off to the side. And I want you to open your legs out nice and wide on the mat. Hopefully the ball doesn't roll away. And you're going to reach your arms out into an X position as well. I want you to reach your hands and reach your feet away from each other. Feel like you're trying to stand on the floor that's a little bit too far away from you. So I want you to inhale as you need to. Reach your arms up, feet down, and then exhale everything out and try and grow taller and taller, taller. Inhale as you need to. So I'm having my arms slightly lifted off the ground so that I'm not pushing my ribs forward. And then as I exhale, I'm reaching my hands longer away from my feet longer away from my hands, my head longer away from my feet as well. And just one more time, inhaling, and then exhaling, growing taller and longer. Good, nice work. Go ahead and shake it out. And now I'm going to place my small ball right behind my head. So this is allowing me to come up into like a little bit of a curl up without straining my neck and shoulders and compromising my form here. So I want you to really focus on dropping your areas that are pushed forward towards the ceiling. Focus on keeping them dropped back to the mat. Sometimes it helps to have your hands there for a little bit of guidance. So once you have that idea, go ahead and place your hands to the side of the ball or the side of the pillow. Bring your legs up into a tabletop. And I want you to begin just reaching your legs away from each other, alternating, finding a breath pattern that works for you, maintaining length through the tailbone, not allowing it to curl up towards your face. Good. Try not to allow the hips to shift side to side. And it's a very big challenge for me to keep my left ribs connected back into the mat. They really want to push forward. Good, relax the legs just for a moment. In tabletop, you can relax the lower legs. And now bring them back into tabletop. Good, find your breath, find your connections here. And now I want you to begin bicycling the legs in this position. Using your breath. Reaching the legs long away from you without arching through the lower back, so you can make the bicycle pretty little, like so, or reach them long if you feel strong today. Good, and now reverse your circles. Really nice work. Oh, this is very challenging on the core to maintain stability here, to maintain my corrections. Relax the neck, relax the shoulders. Very nice. Hug your knees in. Give yourself a little tug here. Pull the knees into the chest. Good. Lower one leg at a time and lower your head flat onto the mat. And now I want you to place the ball underneath of your right foot here. Very good. And open your arms out into a T position. You're really focused on keeping the ribs drawn back, especially the area that's pushed forward. And now I want you to begin just rolling that ball out away from you and then pulling it back in. Good. Inhale to reach it long and exhale back in. So we're maintaining everything here. Now if you want to progress this and make it a little bit more challenging, lift your opposite leg up into a tabletop position and then continue rolling the ball out and then back in. Inhale to reach it long. Exhale, pull it back in. Try to keep that foot centered on the ball, even though it's rolling out and in. It can kind of go a little sideways, especially with your scoliosis. That's okay. Now you can stay with this or begin alternating the legs. So you're going to roll the ball out, and then as you pull the ball in, you're going to reach the lifted leg out. And switch and hold. And switch and hold, good. Still really drawing back strong through the center. Very nice. 2 more times. And 1 more time. Good, now just center your foot on the ball. Reach the leg that's lifted up towards the ceiling and find a little bit of rotation out to the side with the knee and with the foot. We're going to begin making little circles with the lifted leg. Good, keeping the left ribs back. Maintaining length through the spine, so the areas that are pushed forward, you're really trying to draw them back and connect them into the mat. And now go the other way. Finding length through the crown of the head, through the tailbone. Nice work last time. And hug the knee in. And now we'll do the other side. So you're going to pass the ball into the left foot. So the left foot is now resting on top of it. And you can have your right foot on the ground or lift it up into a tabletop position. And just begin rolling the ball out away from you, reaching that left leg long and pulling it back in. So you're inhaling, reaching, and exhaling. So I'm keeping the left ribs back. Inhaling and exhaling. Very nice work. 2 more times. Make sure the neck isn't pulling away from the mat. Keeping your chin slightly drawn back in towards your throat without smushing it into that. Now begin alternating the legs. So you're going to reach that leg long And as you pull it in, you're going to reach your right leg long. So swap and hold. Swap and hold. Good work. This is very challenging. If this isn't working for your arms, you can bring your arms down by your sides. Gives you a little bit more support. I just like opening out to the sides because it helps to open up through the front of the chest, which we're so tight in anyway. Now center your left foot on the ball. Reach the right leg up straight. Turn it out to the side slightly. And now begin making teeny tiny little circles with that lifted leg. Good, find your breath, find your corrections. So my left ribs are back, my right hip is back, without doing funky things through my neck and shoulders. And now circle the other way. And last time, good, hug your knee in. I need to eat you some food. My stomach's growling a little bit. Good, all right, so now we're going to make our way onto our side. Now we're going to lay on to the side that is concave first, and for me, that is my left side. So I'm focusing on laying all of my left ribs down into the mat because they are pulled and sucked into my side here. So I'm in a slight side bent position this way with my spine. So my ribs are naturally kind of lifted up and drawn into my body. So as I lay down, that is my focus. And I'm going to have my bottom leg centered on the ball. So that is a challenge here. So I'm reaching that arm really long overhead, focusing on opening up through each rib as I lay myself down here. Okay. So find your balance here. You want to be one straight line from your head to your feet. And I'm going to use my top arm for balance on the mat here. And I'm just tenting my fingers slightly. Begin pointing your top foot and lifting it up and flex the lower. So my intention here is keeping those ribs imprinted into the mat. It's the opposite of what you normally do for Pilates here. Pointing to lift and then flexing the lower. And now you're going to flex to lift and point to lower. Breathing, drawing back through your center. Trying not to rock and roll all over that ball. Good. And now lift that leg up, draw it slightly back behind you. And now begin bending your bottom leg, roll the ball in towards you, and then reach it out nice and long. And now pull the lifted leg in towards you, and press it out long. So you're going to roll the ball in, and reach it out, and then pull that knee in, and reach it out. Good. One more time each way. And in, and reach it out. Good, you might have lost your center on that ball. Readjust if you need to. And now keep the lifted leg lifted slightly back behind you. And reach your top arm up to the ceiling now. Keep the bottom ribs connected into the mat and just do little circles with that lifted arm. Keeping the belly drawn back towards the spine. And now circle your arm the other way. Good. Bottom ribs are staying down into the mat. Very nice job. Let the arm relax and the foot relax. And carefully make your way up off the mat. And now we'll do the other side. So the focus on this side is keeping the bottom ribs lifted and drawn up off the mat the whole time because this is my convex side. It's the side that's pushed slightly back. So those ribs are already curved this direction towards the mat. and we want to lift them up away from the mat the other way, okay? So on this side, same thing. Ball is going to go under the bottom leg, so you want to center yourself there. And then laying yourself down onto that bottom arm, try to line up feet to head, okay? Finding that lift in the bottom side of the waist, okay? Now, if you need a little bit extra assistance to lift, you can reach this top arm up and over your head, and that helps to facilitate that lift. I'm going to keep my hand here for balance initially. Begin pointing your top foot, lifting it up, and flex to lower. So you're going to point to lift and flex to lower. Drawing back through your center. Good. Point to lift and flex to lower, reaching that leg longer out of the hip socket with each lift. Finding length through the crown of the head. And now you're going to reverse. So I want you to flex to lift the leg and now point to lower. Good. Make sure you're not dropping through that bottom side of the waist. It's remaining lifted. Good. If you become unsteady, that's okay. That's part of it. If the ball isn't working for you, just place it off to the side. And now keep that leg lifted. Bring it slightly back behind you. Begin bending the bottom knee in towards you. Press it out straight. And then bend the top knee in and press it out straight. Good. So keep that waist lifted. It's very challenging here. And then bend the knee in, reach it long. Good. Trying not to shrug the top shoulder up. Ooh. Trying not to roll backwards. And one more time each way. You're doing a lovely job. Now keep that leg reaching long, slightly back behind you. Lift your top arm up if you can maintain your balance. And just do little circles with that lifted arm. And circle the other way. Wow, this is much more challenging than the other side for me. Good. Last time. Let everything rest down. Nice work. Okay. So we're going to make our way onto our back. And I want you, hopefully you have a flat wall near you. If you don't, that's okay. Maybe find a couch that you can get close to. And we're going to just do a little bit of breathing along with our spinal corrections. So get nice and close to the wall. And prop yourself with your wedges if you have them. Okay, so I want to stretch out my hips just a little bit. I'm going to begin bending my left knee, crossing my right ankle over that knee, and just pressing it slightly away from my body. If this is really tight for you, you can have that leg extended as you're pressing the knee away. Okay. Good. I'm just going to bend the knee a little bit again and breathe here. Make sure you're not rotating through the pelvis. You're active and pressing the tailbone long away from you and not curling in on yourself. Good. Go ahead and switch sides. Just stretching out what we just worked here. It's great to have strong glutes, your glute med, glute max. It helps to support your spine, helps with lower back pain and pain from your scoliosis. Good, and now walk your legs out straight or just keep them relaxed over your couch. Find the areas that are pushed forward. So for me, that's my left rib and my right hip. And now just inhale as you need to, just a little sip of air. And then exhale everything out and just slightly pull your hand that's on the rib and the hand that's on the hip away from each other and towards the mat. And then inhale just a little bit as you need to. And then exhale everything out and just slightly draw your hands away from each other on the diagonal. So you should just feel a very, very slight pull, slight stretch. Nothing too intense. I don't want you cranking down on your hip and your rib. Just be nice and gentle. And I want you to continue doing that, inhaling just a little bit as you need to, and then exhale everything out, pulling your hands slightly away from each other. Good. And inhale again through the nose. And exhale. Very nice job. You can stay there and relax for a few minutes. I recommend that. Otherwise, you can roll up and have a seat. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that it felt good to move in your body. I really enjoyed moving today. I just felt like I was really bound down and just feeling stiff in my spine today. So if you enjoyed this class or you have any questions, please send me a message. I thank you so much for joining. I work with clients one-on-one for Pilates and for physical therapy because I'm a physical therapist as well. So I will do a full assessment. We can figure out your curves. It's helpful if you have x-rays. If not, that might be something worth looking into because it helps a lot to have your corrections at the right places. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of